So I'd just like to make a few remarks to sort of wrap up some of the themes we've talked about today, and then Chris and I will go away to a darkened room and record our presentation and make that available as a sort of summary of the event and what we've learned and how ViVet will be taking some of these issues forward. So I think we've had three key themes we've looked at today. One is the changing consumer demands, and as Nancy opened with, the consumer of today, and indeed the consumer of tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, will not be the consumer of old. And loyalty has been replaced with convenience. And that creates a huge challenge for a profession or professions like these, as we explored in the debate, because the common battle cry when facing that sort of change is to focus relentlessly on the client, on the consumer, on the customer, whatever you may choose to call them. But of course, in this sphere, there's a complex tripartite relationship between the vet, the client, and the animal. And of course, the vet must have the animal's welfare at their heart. That must be what they are focusing on. But in order to do that, they must always do that through the client, the animal owner, the keeper, whomever that may be. And unless those needs and those changing demands of that group are focused on to an extent, then others will come from outside the industry who relentlessly focus on those, and clients may be taken away to areas or to products or services which aren't necessarily in the best interests of the animal. And so that debate was, flawed in many respects because it's complex and neither side is correct, and it's a nuanced debate that this profession and professions really need to start thinking about now and how to address that new normal that's emerging. We've also discussed the changing role of the professional and how technology like low-cost real-time genomics or artificial intelligence or the exponential growth of medical knowledge is affecting the profession. And as technology starts to sort of take away the need for some of that expert knowledge, and as it becomes clear that individuals cannot possibly learn or absorb the amount of data being produced, there will of course be a new reliance on technology. And I think there's a fantastic quote from John Iwata at IBM that you will not be replaced by a robot, but you sure as hell will be replaced by someone who knows how to use a robot. And I think there is it's incumbent upon the professions to think about how they can best use this technology. And I'm going to show a single slide because I can't resist. And this is from 1997, when Garry Kasparov was beaten by Deep Blue at chess. And I think people felt, well, this is the end. And, Kasparov was downhearted and felt, what was this all for? And, did IBM cheat? But after reflecting on this for many years, what he developed was an experiment in something called advanced chess. And this is where human intuition, creativity, and empathy are married with the brute force ability of computers to crunch through different positions and so on. And I actually think this provides an amazing parallel for the veterinary profession, and to think, well, if the empathy, the leadership, the communication skills, all of those things that vets do that are over and above the expert knowledge they have can be combined with using that knowledge and those tools at their disposal, just think of the opportunities that creates to improve the quality, efficacy, and accessibility of veterinary services. And I think we should focus on those immense opportunities that exist there and how we can embrace those. And then the final theme, which you won't be surprised to hear me mention, and may not seem as exciting, but it's the sort of things that excite me, is the regulatory challenges this creates. And it's very difficult for a regulator when dealing with something like innovation, because innovation is the fundamental mechanism through which products and services improve, but it inherently carries risk because it's new, novel ways of working that are untried and untested. And it's a very difficult balance for a regulator to take in an incredibly fast-moving, volatile, unpredictable market. It's clear that the old approaches aren't working. And as we heard from Nestor, the best practices emerging is around anticipatory regulation and how regulators can proactively engage with innovation, can help it develop in a safe space, and can work with all the stakeholders involved to ensure that the opportunities that presents are fostered and the risks are minimized. So on that, as I say, we will record a full presentation as we plan to do. I'd now like to release you all for networking drinks and to do whatever horrific journeys home people have. But before doing that, I just want to say thank you very much to our speakers today. I've been absolutely astounded by the quality of the content and indeed the presentations we've heard. I'd like to say thank you to all of you for coming here today and to engaging in this really forward-thinking event. Thank you to Sophie at the back, who has quietly got on and delivered all the organization for this. And thank you to the wider team at the RCVS, and particularly the communications team who've been here today and made this look so effortless from the outside. So thank you all. And with that, please do network, stay for drinks and discussions. Thanks.